So this was interesting. There are some protesters who crashed a drag queen story hour event in California over the weekend. Now, we've seen some of the footage of protests outside of drag queen story hour events, other drag queen events where kids are brought there. We know what happened in Texas with the drag event at a gay bar, and kids were brought in by their abusive parents. There were protesters outside, people confronting the drag queens outside, which is good. But in this case, the protesters went all the way into the building and actually into the event itself to confront the drag queen and the parents. And let's hear how that confrontation went.
So who brought the tranny? Who brought the pedophile?
First of all,
Hold
you
on.
have to wear masks.
No, thank you. Who brought the pedophile?
It's not optional.
We want to know.
You're required
We want to
wear
know.
a mask.
Oh, we're medically exempt. Thank you, though. Who brought the pedophile? I just want to know.
Story time is actually for children.
It's for,
parents.
well, then why is the pedophile here?
So if you guys could please.
Why did you, no. We want to know why there's a pedophile here.
We saw videos of what
I'm
that
sorry,
thing
you're
does.
violating
Yeah.
library policy.
Why did you,
I have to ask
hey,
It's got
you
videos
see a lot of
talking about what it
pedophiles
wants
in
to do to
here.
little children.
Yeah.
You are.
Why did
It
you allow
has videos
pedophiles?
on YouTube of what it wants to do to little children.
Why did you bring the pedophile?
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Children.
Yeah, then why would you bring your children to a pedophile?
We're not swearing.
Yeah.
It's not vulgar
Hey,
language.
you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Why would you want to bring children to this? Why would you want to expose your children to this? Just to prove how tolerant you are a pedophile?
This is the only thing I
To
have a
prove how
problem
tolerant-
exposing children to. This.
You want to expose your children to pedophiles to prove how tolerant you are.
This is disgusting.
It's sick.
Really good question they asked there. Why would you want to expose your kids to this? Good question. Love to hear an answer to that. They don't have an answer. At least not an answer they're going to say out loud. Why would you want to expose your kids to this? I mean, you want your kid to go to the library, hear a story. You want your kid to, that's totally understandable. I read stories to my kids all the time. We brought our kids to story times at libraries. It used to be a pretty uncontroversial thing. Why do you need a cross-dressing man to read the story is the question. Why do you need a man who is acting out his sexual fetish? Why do you need to incorporate that into the story time? Why? Good question to answer. Now, the drag queen there who showed up, cross-dressing for kids to read this story, he of course has been in front of media talking about how terrified he is now and what a terrible thing this was. How uncomfortable he is now. But here's the thing. In a civilized society and in a sane society, you should be made uncomfortable when you're going to do this in front of kids. Okay, people involved in combining drag queens and kids, if they feel uncomfortable about that, they feel like what they're doing is a little bit contentious, that's how they should feel. Like, you shouldn't feel like it's a normal, comfortable thing to just combine kids and drag queens, because it's not normal and it's not okay. And this is at a library, by the way. Let's keep that in mind. This is at a library. This is a tax-funded institution. So other taxpayers have every right to voice their disapproval of what their tax money is being used to do. And even if it isn't a tax-funded institution, this is child abuse. And people have every right to express their disapproval of child abuse. Now, that's what I would say anyway, but law enforcement, they're saying something different. In fact, they are now investigating this as a hate crime. What you just saw there is a hate crime. A hate crime against who? Drag queens? Drag queens are now a protected class of people? I mean, what's the, this isn't even, we're going to try to charge them with disturbing the peace or anything like that. Harassment. I mean, they might try to throw some of those charges on there too. I'm sure they will. But we're not talking about that part of it. Okay? Hate crime? Now, even according to the way the hate crime laws are written, and there are a lot of problems with the way they're written, there are a lot of problems with just the hate crime category in general, but the way it's supposed to work is that if you do something discriminatory or in a harassing manner towards a protected class of people, and again, the fact that there are protected classes which means that there are then unprotected classes. The fact that we have this is in itself a huge problem. And also unconstitutional, I would say, because everybody's guaranteed equality under the law. And when you single out certain classes as protected and other classes as not, then that's not equality under the law. But putting that aside for a second, are drag queens protected classes now? That's like a demographic? A guy who enjoys cross-dressing is now, that's their own category of people. Have you ever looked at your credit card statement and been shocked by the interest rate? Did you know you could actually roll all of your credit card debt into one monthly payment at a lower fixed interest rate? You might not have known that, and now you do. Lower your interest rate and save with a credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream. Rates start at 5.73% APR with auto pay and excellent credit. Plus, the rate is fixed, so it will never go up over the life of the loan. You can get a loan from $5,000 to $100,000, and there are absolutely no fees attached. You can even get your money as soon as the day you apply. Lightstream believes that people with good credit deserve a better loan experience, and that's exactly what they deliver. Just for my listeners, apply now to get a special interest rate discount and save even more. The only way to get the discount is to go to lightstream.com/Walsh. That's LIGHTSTREAM.com/Walsh. Subject to credit approval, rates range from 5.73% APR to 19.99% APR and include 0.5% auto pay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/Walsh for more information. Says, according to Yahoo News, California police are investigating after a group of men allegedly interrupted a drag queen story hour at a library in San Francisco Bay Area. The men, who police believe to be part of the far-right Proud Boys, reportedly yelled homophobic and anti-LGBTQ+ slurs. Now, that part, the homophobic and anti-LGBT slurs, I didn't hear that in the video. Now, the video does go on for a while longer. Maybe there are other videos too. I don't know. I didn't hear it in that clip. And they don't, in this article, they don't quote what exactly those slurs were. Everything I heard in that clip was directed at the drag queen and the whole concept of combining drag queens and kids. That's their problem. On Saturday afternoon, police responded to calls around 1:30 p.m. that there was a disturbance at the San Lorenzo Library. During the story reading, authorities said that a group of 5 men had disrupted the event, which was attended by children, parents, and community members. The men began to shout homophobic and transphobic slurs at the event organizer. The men were described as extremely aggressive with a threatening, violent demeanor, causing people to fear for their safety. An active hate crime investigation is underway, as is an investigation into the annoying and harassing of children. The annoying and harassing of children. Annoying? Is that an actual crime now, first of all? Being annoying is a crime? There are a lot of people I know who need to be arrested in that case. But no, they weren't harassing the children. If they were harassing anybody, it was the adults. That's what all this is directed at. They were there because their belief is that the children are being harassed by the event. And they're correct in that belief, by the way. The police added, as we celebrate Pride Month, we will be swift in our response to any incidents where there are threats to harm members of this community. Of what community? The drag queen community. Or are you saying that dressing in drag in front of children is what? Synonymous with the gay community in general? I think there are plenty of gay people that disagree with that. You know, I'm pretty sure there are plenty of gay people who would say that no, you can be opposed just because you're opposed to drag queen story hour. Like that has nothing to do with me. This to me seems it's sort of a similar thing to when people, just like what's going on with Jack Del Rio, who criticized BLM rioting and then is accused of being racist by people who I guess are saying or insinuating that violent rioting is an essential part of black culture. That's what they're saying, and that if you oppose violent rioting, then you're opposing black people. So the law enforcement here, I guess they're saying the same thing kind of about the gay community. They're saying that dressing in drag in front of children is an essential part of gay culture, and therefore if you oppose that, then you oppose gay people. That's what they are saying. They're either saying that, or they're saying that that drag queens themselves are their own protected class, protected community. However you explain it, it's totally insane. Absolute nonsense. The host, drag queen Panda Dulce, told local public radio station KQED that when the men came in shouting, okay, they're using the female pronouns. Oh my gosh. That when the men came in shouting at her, she was eventually escorted out of the room by a security guard for her safety. What? That's the other thing. I've actually noticed this recently. When the media talks about drag queens, they use the female pronoun, but the whole point of a drag queen is that it's a man dressing as a woman. That's what a drag queen is by definition. So now they are connecting drag queens and transgenderism. But a drag queen, if it's a woman dressed like that, then it's not drag. That's just a woman. So what? I guess in the media, in the article, they are just sort of referring to him as the character that he's playing, which is a female. Dulce, whose name is Kyle Casey Chu, says, I didn't know if they were armed. I was only acutely aware of the fact that neither myself nor any of the other librarians were armed. They totally freaked out the kids. They got right in our faces. They jeered. They attempted to escalate the violence. I didn't see any of that, did you? I didn't see in anyone's face. I didn't see an attempt to escalate the violence. And I didn't see them attacking the kids in any way whatsoever. Listen, hit that subscribe button right now. Do it right now. I thank you for your compliance. It is somewhat appreciated.